Rudolf Steiner, an Austrian philosopher born in 1861, died in 1925, once said, "In the future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine. Under the pretext of a healthy point of view, there will be a vaccine by which the human body will be treated as soon as possible directly at birth." The reasoning, he said, was so the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. A tech company in Nigeria appears to be attempting to make that happen. The name of the company is TechHive, and it says they are a technology policy advisory and research firm. They claim their expertise and experience span research and policy advisory, privacy and data protection, data ethics, cybersecurity, regulatory intelligence, startup advisory, emerging tech, and digital health. In other words, they're a policy-making group that helps bring things into action. Let's look at their brochure, The Intimate Invasion, Exploring the Dangers of the Internet of Bodies. The header both on this page and pages to follow say, "Bodies online, souls offline." Now, are they kidding? Is that an advertising gimmick for their agency? The definition of a soul is the spiritual or immaterial part of a human being or animal regarded as immortal. The word offline means of an activity or service not available on or performed using the internet or other computer network. Under their executive summary, they talk about the Internet of Bodies, IOB, is like the IoT, the Internet of Things. They state the IOB is a subset of the Internet of Things that connects the human body to a network via devices that are implanted, ingested, or connected to the human body to perform a specific function. The definition of implant is to insert or fix tissue or an artificial object in a person's body, especially by surgery. The definition of ingest is to take food, drink, or another substance into the body by swallowing or absorbing it. This brochure tells us what their idea of the Internet of Bodies is. They say it's a subset of technologies that fall under the Internet of Things umbrella. They're made to monitor, check, or interact with the human body. This happens in such a way that the IOB uses human bodies as a data source, making it a component of the Internet of Things ecosystem. They're made up of human bodies or body parts that are linked to the internet. Could you imagine having your leg connected to the internet or your ear? They say this is with the goal of generally improving or providing insights to improve the human body. They say this creates an intimate relationship between technology and the human body. They monitor the human body, they collect physiological, biometric, or behavioral data and exchange this data over a network. They tell us there were 3 generations of the Internet of Bodies. The first generation was the external body. The second generation is the internal body, and the third generation is the embedded body. They say the third generation is not as common, but it would have real-time access to a remote machine. An example would be the much elusive brain-computer interface where the human brain merges with an external device. This would allow a real-time connection with remote computers for live data updates for the purposes of controlling and monitoring. They reference a contentious issue which arose in a well-known Michigan case. That brought up the question of should life-saving or life-enabling devices be used as a tool for surveillance, monitoring, and control over a person's life. In that case, a man had received an artificial heart implant, and they were able to access data to be used as evidence against him on a charge of arson. Data collected was used to provide a report of the heart activity at the time of the crime incident. An expert witness stated it was highly unlikely the suspect would have been able to escape out the window, as his story had stated. One of the advantages they outline is what they call personalized insurance packages. They also referenced increased productivity, and the reference to that at the end of the article was from the Internet of Things to the Internet of Bodies and the Internet of Behavior. And that was a Convergence Consulting on the 5th of May, 2022. That portion about the insurance companies having knowledge of the Internet of Bodies data is under the section called The Gift of Harmony. There's two definitions for the word harmony. One is the combination of simultaneously sounded musical notes to produce chords and chord progressions having a pleasing effect. The second is an arrangement of the four Gospels or of any parallel narratives which presents a single continuous narrative text. Perhaps since the header is discussing the soul, the second definition is the one that's most applicable. Although this is designed for Nigeria, it mentions doctors in the United States are using camera-based pills. That would be used as an alternative to a gastroscopy or a colonoscopy. We've already been told the capability is there for having pills connected to the internet. You can see in this example, the pill is scanned and information is brought up. And I'm sure we all remember this.
Vitamin every morning. What if I could take vitamin authentication? This pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte, and they power it up. And essentially, your entire body becomes your authentication token.
They make the insurance plan sound like a good thing. Health insurance companies can adopt a more customized insurance plan that takes into account the insured's medical history, occupation, and lifestyle. In the best interest of the people, it says their Constitution provides for a right to life, dignity, and privacy. This extends to the right to privacy of medical records and health information, as well as the right to privacy in a digital economy. So the digital economy will definitely be connected to the Internet of Bodies. And large organizations and institutions have advocated to a right to human dignity. The Vatican is one such institution, calling for proactive defense of human dignity in the digital realm. All Christians must reaffirm the dignity of every human being. They tell us a bit more specifically what kind of data they collect. They monitor the human body, collect physiological, biometric, and behavioral data, and exchange information over a wireless or hybrid network. Wearable and home IoT devices frequently collect the following data: biometric data such as voice and gait characteristics, and personal preferences such as eating habits and preferred television programs. And they mention it is possible for biohackers to remotely eavesdrop, intercept, or even alter data using high-gain antennas. A technology researcher described that as a dystopian Orwellian state where IOB and its AI influence could create a dystopian Orwellian state where genetic anomalies can be edited or removed, behaviors can be tracked, and citizens can be constantly tracked. What an important reminder to pray over everything that we consume and just stay in constant prayer. Psalm 9:15 says, "The nations have fallen into the pit that they made. In the net which they hid, their own foot is caught." Praise God, we can claim Proverbs 3:26. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from the snare. Stay praying and stay in the Word.